Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Falcon Cast, episode number 2. The Falcon Cast is your new source for everything that is happening at North Vermillion Community School Corporation. I am your host, Dustin Britton, and for the next 20 minutes, we'll be talking about everything going on at North Vermillion High School and North Vermillion Elementary. Today, we will be joined by two sets of guests. First, we will have seniors Tycee Crabtree, Ava Martin, and Jenna Bailey. And then, we will be joined by the Elementary Student Council President, Ellie Burrows, and the Student Council Advisor, Miss Emily Swaby. Without further ado, let's get to our first set of guests. They are 3 seniors, and they all have 3 other things in common. They're in the top 10 of their class, they play sports and do other extracurricular activities, and they all hold part-time jobs. Let's welcome to the show Tycee Crabtree, Jenna Bailey, and Ava Martin. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Let's start off by telling us a little bit about yourselves.
Hi, I'm Tycee Crabtree. I'm a senior this year, and I play volleyball, do discus and shot put, and I'm a cheerleader. I also am the president of the senior class, and I'm involved in National Honor Society. I work at the McDonald's in Covington.
My name's Ava Martin. I'm also a senior at North Vermillion. I play softball, basketball, and volleyball. I'm a team captain for basketball, and I'm in BPA and National Honor Society, and I work at the Covington McDonald's as well.
My name is Jenna Bailey. I am also a senior at North Vermillion. I play softball, volleyball, and swim. I am the secretary of the senior class, and I'm involved in National Honor Society, and I work at Clark Chevrolet.
So with all the things you do, all the sports, all the extracurricular activities, and the part-time job, how do you do all that and still remain in the top 10 in your class?
Time management and priorities are really important. You have to realize what is most important, and usually, of course, that's schoolwork. You have to get that done before you do anything else, and you have to make sure when you come home you can't get on TikTok for 2 hours. You have to do your work and get things done on time.
Yeah, I agree. Time management is definitely key to everything, and I like being organized. That helps me a lot, just keeping all my classes in track and just making sure, like, every night when I go home, do I have something due tomorrow? Do I have something I need to be doing? Just stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Something to always keep in mind is, you're not really going to have your sports if you don't keep your grades up. So that's always something to keep in mind. You definitely want to stay on top of everything, because if you don't, you could fall behind, affecting your sports. So definitely turn your papers in and just don't procrastinate.
So why do you think sports are important in high school?
Sports are important because I personally think that they can make you not only a better athlete but a better student, because it pushes me in the classroom to do better and keep my grades up, because like I said before, I know I can't play a sport without the grades. And so, in classes, it's always in the back of your mind to make sure you have a good grade in that class, and you kind of want to set a good example for other people to know that you can do both a sport and have good grades.
I think sports are important in high school because it just kind of builds, your character. I mean, I just like having good coaches and stuff. They just teach you a lot of life lessons, and I have a lot of fun memories playing sports, and I've met a lot of people through sports, and my life wouldn't be the same without them. So I just think it's really important.
Sports can teach you a lot of lessons like resilience and persistence and how to work hard. They kind of help you find who you are. You learn how to handle tough situations and other things like that, and you make a lot of friends playing sports. It's good to have teammates and learn to work as a team, because that's something that's always important in life, working with other people.
So it's obvious we want to be good at sports because we like to win. However, the other side of it is you have to do well in school as well. And sometimes people don't see the importance of doing well in school. Why is it important for you personally to do well in your academics?
I mean, honestly, education is the most important thing, because really, you can be a great athlete unless you're going to go do the NBA or something. You're not going to have anything without an education. That's number one priority in everything. You're going to have a good education to get somewhere in life and have a good job, and I just think that's really important.
It's important for me to do well in school because I know that I can do it, and my family and my friends all know that I can do it. So I don't really have any excuses. It's important for me because I know that if I'm not doing well, it's because I'm not putting in the effort, I'm not trying. So it's really important for me to be doing well in school.
Yeah, it's definitely important for me because, like Ava mentioned, I know I'm most likely not going to go play professional sport. And, education is going to be the rest of your life. And so you're definitely going to need that for college. You can't just not really try in school and expect to go do well in college. You kind of need to take what you learn to succeed and then get a good job.
So as we mentioned, you all do well in school, you all play sports, you all do extracurricular activities, and you all hold part-time jobs. What is something people may not know about maintaining all of those roles?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of late nights. I'm sure people don't realize how busy it keeps you. There's a lot of times where most people can go home and, do their homework or spend more time with their family compared to us where we have all these things we kind of have to juggle. So it definitely teaches us time management for sure. I think it makes you a better person kind of because it builds character, so you have lots of things that you can take in the future. And, it just teaches you that you need to manage your time and just do it.
Yeah. I think people take for granted, getting to go home right after school and just relax or not have to do anything. But most of the time, I know all three of us have something to do right after school, or we have a game that night or something like that. We don't get to just go home and rest or go home and do our work. And that's something that people might not realize. We're, at the school pretty much 24/7 or out on the field or, doing something at our jobs. So we don't get that kind of free time that most people have.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely 100% stressful a lot. But, I like staying busy, but at the same time, I would like to go home every once in a while after school. But I don't know, it does teach a lot of lessons. I've never really took certain people who work certain jobs for, I always took it for granted. Working in fast food has, actually changed a lot of things for me. I'm like, wow, I need to just be a better person and treat people better because it sucks when people are mean at your job. So
Working at McDonald's, you probably get some
yeah.
difficult customers.
Yeah.
So Ava, you specifically, don't you work in mornings?
Yeah.
So average, what time do you wake up on a school day?
I wake up at 5:25, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Fridays.
And then after a basketball game, what time do you typically get home?
I usually will get home around 9:30. That's usually when I try to go to bed when I have practice or something, but after a game I usually don't get to bed till 10:30 or 11.
So there are some days where you're going from 5:30 in the morning until 10:30 at night,
Yeah.
no breaks.
Yeah.
Jenna, specifically working at a car dealership over at Clark Chevrolet, what's something about that job that people may not know?
You're definitely on your feet a lot. You don't really have a whole lot of downtime. I definitely run around all the place. You kind of do the work that no one has the time to get done. I'll be helping one person and then another person will need me. So I'm always busy and I'm constantly moving, doing another thing. So it's probably a lot more work than most people realize.
So with all of you being in the top 10 in your class, what tips can you give younger students, those who want the same level of academic success that you have?
I would say, like we all said a bunch of times, manage your time. Definitely. That's probably the number one thing. And like Tycee said, if you're going to have priorities, you need to figure out what they are. Yeah, sure, you can hang out with your friends every once in a while, whatever other teenagers do, but you still need to have your priorities straight. And really I like to just stay organized and just kind of write out what I have due, what day, and just keep myself organized and just not procrastinate as much as I can.
Yeah, especially I think one of the most important things is to make sure you turn your work in. That is probably my most important thing to say is if you don't turn your work in, that can kill you. And it just builds on each other and it can get really, really hard, especially if you're busy. Back to the time management. If you don't turn your work in, it's going to be 10 times harder to get a good grade than it would if you would have turned it in.
Yeah, and don't be scared to ask for help if you aren't understanding something in class. I know some people feel stupid or they get scared to ask teachers for help, but that's what they're there for. Like, they want to help you. They want to make sure you're understanding things. So if you don't get something, or if you're struggling with something, don't be afraid to ask for help from teachers or peers or just anyone, because you will need it at some points. You aren't going to understand everything.
So that's how students can be better in academics. What can they do to find success at sports?
Something that's really been important for me has been working out. I take APC, so every single day I go upstairs and I lift, and I noticed a huge difference. Like my freshman year when I started lifting from my sophomore year volleyball season, I noticed I was jumping higher, moving faster, things like that. Lifting is so important, and if you take that seriously, you will jump ahead of people who aren't lifting, and you will notice it, because I definitely did.
Yeah, I would definitely say I also took APC, and that helped me a lot. Like my freshman year especially, I had a lot of success with softball, and that was I had never done weightlifting before until I joined that class, and we really went hard, and we all did really good, and that's something. And I would also say just practicing on your own. I mean, that's the only way you're going to get better, or if you want to see any improvement or anything, then you need to practice. If it's something that really means a lot to you, then you need to do it even when no one's watching you or anything. Just go out and do whatever you need to do to get better.
Yeah, I agree with both of those things. Weightlifting is extremely important. It gives you benefits I don't think you might realize when you first start. And putting time in on your own, it just makes a huge difference. Say in basketball, you stay late to shoot around, it's going to make a difference in the game. You're going to be able to make that shot that maybe other teammates might not be able to make. And I would also say even playing maybe like a club sport or a travel sport can also make a major difference, whether it be football, basketball, volleyball, softball, you name it. I think that can also make a huge difference and make you 10 times the athlete. So I would definitely recommend that if that's something, you're looking into.
Yeah, and also I'd say there's many people who are willing to help you, like not even a coach, just people who are older than you. Like if you want to get your softball swing better, if you want to have better form when you're shooting, just anything, like ask your teammates or ask someone maybe a little bit older than you who you look up to. Like they will help you out.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that is all the time we have for this segment. Tycee, Ava, Jenna, thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
Before we move on to our next guest, let's talk about some announcements, updates, and other things that you need to know. The North Vermillion class of 2024 will host a holiday bazaar tomorrow, December 4th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at North Vermillion High School. We have many vendors signed up, including Joyce Ann's, Taylor Turchie from Taylor's Trends, Petersburg Florist, 3 Crafty Chicks, Pampered Chef, and a variety of vendors with homemade products and much, much more. Please come out and support the class of 2024. Night of the Arts is coming up December 6th. This is the Fall Fine Arts Festival, and it will be held at 6:30 p.m. in the high school auditorium. This concert does have an admission fee, as it is a fundraiser for the arts department. The cost is $5 for adults and $2 for students. Children 5 and under are free. All donations are welcome and appreciated. The elementary school will have a wellness committee meeting on Monday, December 6th at 3:30 in the elementary library. Santa's Secret Shop is coming up. Santa's Secret Workshop will be open during school hours December 8th and December 9th and until 9:30 a.m. on December 10th. If you are interested in working Santa's Secret Workshop, please call Valerie Winland at 217-497-2903. Cold weather has arrived, and we need to be prepared. Please have your children wear a coat and a hat to school. We will still have outdoor recess unless it rains or it is below freezing. The ASVAB testing makeup date is scheduled for December 8th. All juniors and select seniors will take the ASVAB exam that day. It will begin at 8:15 a.m. This exam can be used as a graduation requirement if the minimum score is met. The final exams are coming up December 20th and 21st. The final exam daily schedule will be released shortly. Don't forget, winter break is December 22nd through January 4th. There will be no school, and the spring semester begins on January 5th. The community food drive was a huge success, and through the food collected at the high school and the elementary, we were able to help over 65 families this year. Great job, Falcons. And that's all for the announcements and updates. Let's get to our next guest for the show. We have Student Council President Ellie Burrows.
Hi.
And fourth grade teacher, Miss Swaby.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks
Thank
for
you for
having
having
us.
us.
So let's start out. Tell us a little bit about yourselves. Ellie.
My name is Elliot Burrows. I'm in 6th grade, and I am the student council president. I show sheep. Anything else?
There you
you
go.
want?
That's pretty good. I've been to a lot of sheep shows, so I know a lot about sheep showing.
Awesome. My name is Emily Swaby. I'm one of the fourth grade teachers here at North Vermillion Elementary, and I'm also a bus driver this year, so I took on that extra responsibility. But I'm also a student council advisor, so I've been doing that for about 4 years now. We've been stepping it up a bit every year, trying to get more involved with the student body and activities around the school, and just having lots of fun doing it.
So what is your role as the student council advisor?
So since we've got a lot of elementary students, we still need a lot of guidance as far as, what are some ideas that we can do? What are some things that we can do as a student body? We also, with the finances, need an adult present to make sure that everything is going smoothly. And I just kind of guide the kids on ideas and activities, kind of wrangle in some of the activities that they would like to do, and just focus on what would be attainable.
Okay. So you talked about being the advisor. I guess the next question is, what is the student council and what do they do?
Well, student council is a group of 4th through 6th graders that they are leaders in their own classroom, but also kind of represent the student body as a whole. So we do fundraisers for different community events. We also just do fun stuff around the school just to have fun as a student body, and just to kind of grow our community as a school.
All right. Ellie, what made you want to be in student council?
I wanted to be on student council because I love being a leader and I guess a boss. And so on the student council, I thought that, I'd have a say in stuff and that it'd be really fun. And then in 4th grade, I got picked. And then in 5th grade, I was vice president, and then now I'm president. And yeah, I really love being in student council.
All right, so you decided you wanted to be in student council. You joined student council. How did you get picked to be the student council president?
When I was in 4th grade, I made a speech. Like 10 people ran from my class, and one person got picked from every class. And so I made my speech, and my class voted, and then I've been a member ever since.
All right, sounds good. So what are some things you've done as student council president?
Well, most recently this year, we have redone a courtyard at our school. We've put new rock in. We even have a Christmas tree in it now, so it definitely looks better, and yeah.
I actually just saw the Christmas tree out there yesterday, and I was wondering who did that, and I had no idea.
Yeah.
It was student council. Miss Swaby, how do students benefit from being in the student council now and in the future?
Well, it definitely begins building their leadership skills. They definitely need to have communication skills. They're throwing out ideas during our meetings of things that they can do to get the school involved, so they're getting that community mindset built up as well. And then as they go on to middle school, high school, they still have opportunities to be in student council over there. And a lot of times if they've been in student council with the elementary, they're less afraid to join in over there, and they're already prepped to be thinking of those leadership skills and ways that they can help their school and their community.
I think a lot of people I've been talking to, that's what they're saying, is they're doing things now to build a foundation for later, and all these things kind of carry on to high school, to college, and then to whatever job they do in the future. So that's pretty neat. Ellie, what is it like being student council president?
Honestly, it's amazing. I love being student council president. I love banging the gavel at the beginning of meetings and at the end of meetings, and just being a student leader in student council. So
I did a video last year at the courthouse in Fountain County, and I think the thing that made me feel the most powerful was having the gavel in my hand and being able to bang it. So I enjoyed that. What have you learned from being in student council?
I have learned that you can do like amazing things that are beyond your doing when you do it with other members, and you can make, for example, the courtyard something beautiful that was not so beautiful before we started, and you can really get a lot done with people and when they come together. So.
All right. Ms. Swaby, what can listeners do to support the Student Council?
Definitely stay involved in updates and things that we're doing. We do have fundraisers throughout the year. We did finish a food drive in conjunction with the Cayuga Christian Church in providing food for meals that the church passed out for those in need. So a lot of parents were definitely involved with that and providing things like that. Yeah.
And this question can be for either of you. What can we expect to see from the Student Council in the future?
Definitely trying to stay involved in the community and do some more activities where the community as a whole can be involved. We have a monthly Spirit Day fundraiser that we're going to be doing with our students to help raise extra funds so we can look forward to doing maybe some larger projects around the school. We've been taking collections and donations for families in need as well, in conjunction with some of our administrators that know of students and families that are in need. We do have Riley Children's Hospital as our organization that we do a lot of fundraising for as a student council. So that is definitely something that's near and dear to many of our families in our community, as they have used Riley Children's Hospital in their own families.
So it seems like the Student Council does a lot within the building, but they do a lot outside of the building as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's good experience for students to have. Ms. Swaby, what are some things you've done in the school as Student Council advisor with the Elementary Student Council?
We typically every year do a Veterans Day program, which with COVID the last couple of years we've had to limit not having guests in the building, but we still get the students involved. We most recently published the video and put it on social media thanking our veterans. We also asked the students to donate money to our local American Legion. So that was something that was really awesome to see them pull together. As Ellie mentioned, we did just recently partner with a high school class, the Plant and Soil Science class with Mrs. Lacey Romig, and they came over and helped haul in the rock for our courtyard garden. We've also done to where Student Council has paid for recess toys that needed to be replaced around the building. We've also done fundraisers for Heifer International, which they help students in other countries who are in need. And we collected money to provide school supplies for them. We also have Spirit Days that the kids always love getting involved with and dressing up, and Student Council loves coming up with the themes for each day. So quite a few things and here and there.
I've been impressed with how hands-on the Student Council is. I helped out doing the Veterans Day video, and the students were there giving speeches, and they planned the whole thing from what I understand. And for the food drive, Ellie's sister was there, and she had like 30 boxes of mac and cheese in her hand trying to load it up into the van. Ellie, what's your favorite thing you've done hands-on with Student Council so far this year?
Well, I always love collecting food for the food drive and seeing how our whole school can bring so much food together and help so many families for Thanksgiving. And so that was probably my favorite, but I also love seeing the courtyard come together and the Spirit Days and how everybody participates. And I think our school does really good with participating.
All right. So a last question for you, Ellie. You're a Student Council president. What else are you involved in at North Vermillion Elementary?
I'm involved in band, choir, cross country, 6th grade basketball cheer.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Very
oh,
involved.
and spell bowl.
So that lines up perfectly with what we talked about in our first segment, how being involved at the high school level kind of leads you to success. Do you think that's the case in elementary as well?
Oh yes, definitely. Having that community spirit and that mindset, they're already having to learn time management skills. With Student Council, since I'm driving the bus this year, we changed the time to in the mornings, just 20 minutes twice a week. But these kids are so organized. They're there on time. They have everything in order. They're ready to get going and get back to class and get their things done. So they're already learning those time management skills and being able to get many things done. And they can see the more that they're organized, the more they can get done. And I think that carries on when they are older, that they already have those skills, and that's not something that's going to trip them up.
For sure, those are just more reasons why students should be involved and why parents should encourage their kids to get involved as much as possible. And sadly, that's all the time we have for this segment today. Miss Swaby, Ellie, I want to thank you for coming and joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
And that is all the time we have for this episode of the Falcon Cast. We thank you for joining us. We hope to see you next time. We're going to talk to varsity basketball coach and high school PE teacher Cody Wright, as well as North Vermillion Elementary STEAM teacher Skylar Wright. We hope to see you then.